Introducing the all-new Corolla.
It's what lawmakers have asked her for at two separate public hearings in recent weeks, but she could not provide it to them until now. A breakdown of the estimated cost, agency by agency, job by job, of implementing the governor's pay raises at a 50% level through the end of this fiscal year. Why weren't you able to provide this breakdown to lawmakers last Friday or the week before?
Well, because there's a lot of documentations that's required to go, going into that process, and they're still asking for it, and the staff right now is submitting about maybe 30,000 pieces of documents to show them the process of how we got to those numbers.
Manglonia said all of what lawmakers have been asking for is being delivered to them, but the breakdown of the costs for each position is time-consuming.
They were basically asking for the what would be the breakdown in the slotting, and
that's more complicated.
It is more complicated than they think.
And you're in the process of doing that now.
That's correct.
And when will you be able to deliver that to them?
Well, we're delivering documents to them, and as far as the individual slotting, HR is still working on it. We have very limited staff, and they have to work long hours to complete that process.
Manglonia also insisted that the revised hay plan passed last weekend by the legislature is flawed.
In this concoction that
the governor's plan phases in the hay raises, she said, between February 14th and the end of this fiscal year, September 30th. DOE teachers, GovGuam nurses, and attorneys would all get 100% of their raises immediately, but everyone else would only get 50% between now and September. Total cost, $7.7 million.
The difference with the governor's phased-in proposal is $7.7 million versus the legislature's proposal, which is Bill 68. It mandated a full implementation, and that was not what we had proposed.
The legislature's Bill 268 is different, says Manglonia, because it mandates full implementation of the hay recommended raises for everyone effective February 9th at 100% right through the end of September, not 50% as the governor's plan calls for.
The full implementation would have cost $15 million based on the time period from February to September, and that's precisely how deficits are created.
But how could it be double if they only authorized $7 million in spending? How could it cost $15 million if they only authorized $7 million?
Well, that's because it is the remainder. That's how much it's going to cost for the remainder of the fiscal year.
$15 million?
That's correct.
The governor has yet to act on Bill 268, although he's called it an abomination, and a veto is expected. Manglonia and the administration have expressed confidence that the hay plan, as recommended by the governor, will take effect February 14th. Is any legislation necessary at all for these hay raises to take effect on February 14th?
They don't need to do anything, and the plan will go into effect.
So it's going to go into effect. Assuming there's a veto, this plan, the governor's plan, will take effect February 14th.
That's correct.
However, Vice Speaker B.J. Cruz has already said that he believes legislative concurrence of the hay plan is required, and members of the legislature are said to have already prepared a request to present to the Guam Supreme Court for a ruling on that question. Kevin Kerrigan, PNC News.